Get ready for the next battle, ladies and gentlemen, natives and everyone's in between. My name is SPF Dark. We're coming at you live here at the CCA to bring you our second match of the night. But before we get into that, I am joined with someone here tonight.
Hello everyone. My name is Siberino, but you can call me Sib for short. And I am one of the new commentators for the CCA, and I'm so excited to be here commentating a Division 1 match, and also here commentating with SPF Dark. How are you doing?
I'm doing very, very well. Just got off hot from the mic from my previous game, Division 2, TMU Maroon versus PSK Violets. Very entertaining match, and I'm very excited to keep that energy going here as we head to our second match of the night. Drexel Dragons Splatoon over from Drexel University versus PSU from the Pennsylvania State University, and I'm very much excited for this match specifically because PSU Blue has a lot of history here. And Drexel Dragons Splatoon have a lot of history here. It's going to be in a very exciting set here tonight.
Yeah, I gotta say though, like when it comes to Division 1 matches here in the CCA, are always bound to be chaotic, and I'm so really excited to see what these two teams have in store for us. Actually, it seems like PSU has some stuff that they have mentioned to us. Do you wanna mention what they have to say, Dark?
Most definitely. As a few things here we got on our commentator side for PSU Blue. Anyways, we know that PSU Blue, for the general start of the season, anyways, they're ready for another season, and with how historied they are here in CCA, it wouldn't be a surprise if it was anything but that, because they've been a mainstay here since I believe season 2, if my information is correct, if not even longer into the first season. So a big mainstay phase here in CCA. But a few things that they're looking at as well. Apparently, they're running a tight format roster here for PSU Blue. For the first time, meaning to go in a little bit depth of that, previously they did have a few swap-ins here and there for their matches, but it looks like this time around for PSU Blue for this season, they're looking to stay with a main core four for the majority of it, and I'm very excited to see how that's going to be going out for them. Of course, as a few keys of victories for them as well. They're looking just to create solid playmaking setups, strong mental, locking in, just nothing too special or too spicy here that we can play off of, but more just typical things you will see, especially for a team that is PSU Blue.
Yes. Honestly, I am very excited to see what PSU has in store, because every time whenever we see PSU Blue out and about, they got something cooking.
Yeah, and I mean that's not to say Drexel Dragons don't have anything on there, and they are pretty much neck and neck with how long they've been in here in the CCA with PSU Blue. I don't think we have any notes ready at the moment on their side, but I do know that they have such a seasoned history here in the CCA to be here this long. And I mean, making it to Division 1, I do know that we have a few extra divisions this time around, so these divisions should be a bit more tighter in terms of skill matchups. So seeing PSU Blue going off against Drexel Dragons out the gate first week in this new season, I mean, I'm eager to see this, and of course, being a college based league, there's bound to be some skill differences between season to season, even from year to year. So it's hard to say exactly how this season's gonna be playing out for these two teams without knowing the nitty gritty of who left and who came and who's not available to play this semester. But it's still gonna be a really exciting thing regardless.
Yeah, for sure. And coming back to Drexel, the fact that they don't seem to have mentioned anything, I think that they might have something cooking as well. Like they want us to be a little bit more surprised, catch us off guard or anything. And I honestly do love a good surprise, and I'm sure you do as well, Dark. And I'm sure everyone in chat here may be excited as well to see what kind of surprises Drexel Dragons have in store. But honestly, this is going to be quite exciting. Like, again, Division 1 matches are going to be so chaotic. And I know people say that for other matches like Division 2 or Division 3, so all those divisions. But when it comes to Division 1, it's its own chaotic experience.
Yeah, I can definitely say, not to say that the difference between Division One and Division Two was clearable because of skill, but the difference between Division One and Division Two, whenever I've been commentating in the past seasons, um, it's just been noticeable just because of how these people play the game. Those two divisions in season past has just been such a clear cut, like, I can tell there's Division One because they do so and so and so. But like I said, it's not because
Mhm.
of it's a lack of skill. I need to make that explicitly clear because some people might take things I say the wrong way, and I do not mean any offense. I love all of you guys here on playing here for us at the CCA, and I'll do anything to cast every single game that I can. But no, it's just the point is that these two divisions have always been very, very noticeable. But the fact that there's more divisions here spread out means that you see a bit more tighter games between the divisions within the divisions themselves. And Division 1 and 2 may be less and less clear. But with enough fanfare, we are going to be heading into our first game here in just a few moments. We are starting off Robo Ramen Splat Zones. What do you feel about
Ooh.
this map mode, buddy?
Um. Okay. Honestly, I don't mind it at all. I think I have a bit of some beef with it in the past, but as of nowadays, I find it more tolerable, especially since like I finally found the right weapon to use regarding zones Robo Ramen, and I gotta say though, like the more I keep playing this particular weapon in Robo Ramen zones, the more I'm starting to like, okay, this is a lot better to use. But what about
Mm-hmm.
you, Dark? What do you have to
Mm-hmm.
say about Robo Ramen zones?
Mm-hmm. So, what some folks might have heard or me already say in the last block that you guys might have been coming from us journey was the fact that I just absolutely love this map. Rebel Ramen is probably one of the best maps this Splatoon team has made since the entire creation of this game series, with almost 10 years now at this point. I'm going on
Mm-hmm.
strong. I just absolutely love this map. It's wide and open, but it's not in an oppressing way. There still is a good amount of cover, and the fact that you can go under the map to go around, and there's just a lot to go. And yeah, this map tends to be a little bit lockout heavy, but
Mm-hmm.
there's still like plenty of ways to play around it. And as we're kicking off here, this first game of this second match of the night, I'm eager to see exactly what's going to be brought here tonight.
Oh man! All right. So the first thing I see from the Drexel Dragons is a Rapid Pro Deco, and I see an ink brush.
Yeah, for those who are very well attuned with CCA and past teams and players, J Money is a very, very demonic brush player. You will see them in the front lines in the
Mm-hmm.
face getting away with stuff that they shouldn't be getting away with. And already PSU Blue is already showing they're just massive strength right out the gate. Such a beautiful opening. I don't think they lost a player yet as we see them just
Oh,
locking them out here and now. 75 points ticking within the first 30 seconds. A very strong start.
it is indeed a very strong start, and as we can see, Drexel Dragons are trying to find their rhythm, and I don't know, like they are like just really struggling because like no matter where they are, like PSU Blue always catches them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a very, very just also kind of beautiful thing to see from PSU Blue with how they've been playing up against Drexel Dragons within the first game. Already 20 seconds remaining. Socials are being constantly rotated out from PSU Blue. I believe that's their first death from PSU Blue side. As Drexel Dragons managed better to get that pick, and they need to rush to this point now in order if they want to try and stay alive in this game for a little bit longer. But with so much pressure, Drexel Dragons unfortunately does not get any chance to step foot past those ramp.
My goodness, that is literally one of the quickest games I've ever seen here in Robo Zones. Like, oh my goodness, like PSU Blue just had that's just like they just literally cleaned that entire game, without making a single mess. Like,
Mm-hmm.
oh man, like that is absolutely like insane. But it's not over for Drexel Dragons. This is still game one. They
Mm-hmm.
just need to get a feel of how PSU plays. They got the worst out of the way, which is the first game. The first game, always, just to get a feel for everything, and yeah, they just gotta like clear their heads out of this game and focus on the next one.
Yeah, I genuinely couldn't have said it better. That first game is, I like to call the first game whenever, especially if it's a rough game like this on my end. I'm playing a rough game against a very strong team. I always call it the download game to just get whatever information I can moving on forward. And here at the CCA, we do a best of seven. So in first to four. So first game loss could have gone better, but it's not going to be the end of the world for you. You still have plenty to
Mm.
still play around on as we head into our next match here.
Oh.
Tower control, humpback pump track.
Oh man. Oh man. I thought I'd never see this map mode here in the CCA map pool, but hey, I guess they won. They picked it for a reason. Honestly though, like it's so hard to like think about it, because like tower control on humpback pump track is very snowbally, and I mean very snowbally, like worse than tower surgeon in my opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely the thing with humpback pump track is that second checkpoint heading into third checkpoint is kind of a hard thing to push through, but once you actually get past that area, that's when that snowball really turns into an avalanche and it becomes very hard to recover from. So the things you kind of want to do here is just kind of make sure that the tower doesn't ever get to that second checkpoint heading to the third checkpoint, or else things really get to spiral out of control. And I would be absolutely surprised here if we don't see any blasters, any buckets, any brushes, or any rollers here, because those weapon types are really, really favored here with how many ledges and nooks and crannies we see here. We don't see anything from that kid on Drexel Dragon's side. Maybe the closest thing we see is the decapitator, but I'm very eager for this game nonetheless.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say though, I wasn't expecting the charcoal decaf to be brought up because normally people pick the mint decaf as it does have a good special, but I could see why they picked it because it has jet, which is very good for humpback pump track.
Hmm. Yeah, that jet could be the key here from Drexel Dragon's side. One going down from PSU Blue means that they have the opportunity here to try and actually make something going. They do take that early lead, especially with Tactical or Online here, means that they can go on the offensive without too much trouble. Two does go down from Drexel Dragons. This is Inkzuka putting in work here, but it's not going to be without too much repercussions as that Tactical was online.
Yeah, and as we can see, the V-Shot pushing up, and the Jet is starting to pop up as well. It seems like Drexels are trying to maintain as much defense as they could, and so far they're doing pretty good at it. Able to get a pick from the decav. Very good stuff.
A nice corner peek there from the decapitator, was able to get that a crucial additional pick here against PSU Blue as this tower is reset. Drexel Dragons are going to be the ones waiting it out just a little bit for that tactical to go online before they actually make their first moves. Tower is starting to move just a little bit as the suction bomb does unfortunately slow them down, but with the bubbler being placed on the tower itself, it looks like they can get away with some additional points that they may not have gotten away with, especially since PSU Blue is currently 2 down, but with the Zipcaster coming in and lead swap, they gotta really, J-Money really has to make something happen here if they want to try and make sure things don't spiral out of control, and things might be spiraling out of control here.
Yeah, I gotta say, I just realized that Jay is using the Octobrush that has Zipcaster, and if I remember correctly, Zipcaster is not the best special to use in Humpback Pump Track because there's not a lot of like walls and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Zipcaster can be a bit awkward here, but honestly, I think your mastery with a Zipcaster, if you can successfully use it here, kind of speaks for itself if you can properly pull it off here. But PSU Blue are now going on defensive for the first time here, getting 3 down off of a single fight here
Ooh.
as the Drexel Dragons are forced to back up despite the space being taken here. Going in deep, PSU Blue does lose one player, but not without their own losses here. I already at that second checkpoint, potentially with the potential lead swap here. The Rapid Blaster are going to try and slow them down, but no, lead is going to be swapped here, unfortunately, for the Drexel Dragons as they go 3 down once again, but they do get a crucial pick from the Explosion on tower before eventually going down.
Oh man, like this is what I mean in regards to like the snowbally and the lockout stuff. Like Drexel had so much to their advantage, and but apparently PSU was able to switch it around, and ooh, it seems like PSU is able to take get a knockout out of game 2.
Yeah, that was a very either Drexel Dragon just kind of forgot about forgot about the tower for a brief moment there at the very end, or PSU Blue was doing such an extraordinary job of like splitting all the attention there at the very end that Drexel Dragons just really couldn't afford to focus down the tower. Because man, Jackson Dragons actually did a pretty decent job getting their tower
Mhm.
down to 45 points off of the single push, but PSU Blue was able to just knock back twice fold and take this game out within the 3 minute mark.
Yeah, like they had yeah, Drexel Dragons did an incredible job like in the beginning, just like able to use their specials very well together and able to get like a good lead. But yeah, unfortunately though, like a PSU just switched it around and able to like did the same thing as well and had good defense, having all of their specials ready and stuff like that.
And man, oh man, two points under their name. PSU Blue is looking to get their momentum really swinging here as we head into game number 3. It's going to be Rainmaker Scorch Gorge, and I'm eager to see exactly what Drexel Dragons might be wanting to do here as we head into game number 3. If they're going to be wanting to try and maybe bring in someone new, or if they want to try a completely new weapon comp, or do you think they just need to take a second to just take a breath and mentally reset and get a bit more confidence before going into this next match?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't know what to expect from the Drexel Dragons. I mean, like, I know for a fact that they will still keep the junior on their hands because Grace loves the junior with all her heart and everything. So, but maybe I might see the decaf making a return. I mean, it has done really well like during Humpback Pump Track, and I could see it being very useful in Scorch Gorge Rainmaker.
Yeah, Scorch Gorge. Having it in Scorch Gorge could be very lethal here. The main point of contention on this map is the ramps leading up to that first checkpoint. How well you play around those ramps and how well you can actually attack or defend it is really going to dictate a lot of your tempo here. Because if you have a weak hold of that ramp and the enemy control and the enemy team take control of that ramp, you kind of just give up a lot of points in that aspect, because then the rainmaker is just going to go down and head towards the pillar, and I think at that around the pillar mark that takes it all the way down to like around 40 points, and taking it that far if you have a good defense is a very hard thing to do. So those ramps are crucial here.
Yeah, I mean, it is one of the Scorch Gorge Rainmaker. It is one of the most like notorious maps in Rainmaker, and also I do apologize. I misinformed y'all that that Grace was going to be using the junior here, but she did get subbed out. So yeah, my apologies on that. And ooh, the dualies. All right, I see you there. Um, I gotta say though, Dooley's here on Scorch is a very solid pick. What do you
hmm
think?
Yeah, I like dualies here simply for the amount of range that you can get with Crab Tank with proper usage, but PSU Blue is also running a double shot lineup here, so that
Ooh,
is
yeah.
unfortunately gonna kind of counter the Crab Tank as soon as that's gonna get popped, you most likely will be facing an enemy Ingzuka straight to the face here. But already both these teams are fighting out on mid, 1-for-1 trade on both sides, 2 down for PSU Blue means that Drexel Dragons can get the opportunity here to try and get at least a few points on the
Oh.
board, but no, J Money is in the backline. It gets one, distracts them long enough to get a
Ooh.
wipeout as PSU Blue regroups and takes that Rainmaker forward.
Yeah, and they were able to break down the first checkpoint, and it seems like they're ready to start another push going to the final checkpoint. It's all up to Drexel to at least try to get a good defense going. But as I say that, two players go down, and it's all up to the Jet. Unfortunately, getting down as well. Man, so many of Drexel just falling down one by one. But it's still not over when it's over.
Most definitely. 28 points is a beautiful push from BSU Blue and a bit of a stressful scenario for Drexel Dragons, but we still have 3 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. You have that entire time to potentially take it down to 27 points off of a single push or through multiple pushes here. So do not panic. This game is not over yet, as Drexel Dragons are just trying to make sure they can maintain control of their own ramp, as I mentioned earlier. But no, because BSU Blue has such a stronghold over it, they are able to push them back at least a little bit before going 2 of their own members down. reject being used to try and just see if they can get another pick. But no,
Oh,
I think there's a bit of a connection issues
yeah.
here
Whoa,
as the
whoa, whoa,
lobby
whoa,
is
whoa,
freaking
whoa,
out.
whoa. Okay, Jay with the Rainmaker and okay, oh
Ooh.
my god. Okay, so we just saw Jay carrying the Rainmaker and literally just froze still like a statue, and all of a sudden it just rocket launched all the way to the top of the center of the map, like, and all of a sudden, boom, actually three people just disconnect.
Yeah, that's such an unfortunate thing to happen here. I don't know if that yeah, because of because of the current score where it's standing, this does not qualify for a replay. Even though the timing does qualify, the scoring
Oh
doesn't. So
man.
unfortunately, this game most likely will go to PSU Blues simply because there's not only the player advantage, but there's such a huge point differential between it that I don't think Drexel Dragons can do anything in this scenario.
Oh man, that is very unfortunate. Man, when we man, I was really hoping that there would be like something going on from the Drexel Dragons. Like they started to get something in, but because of the disconnect, it unfortunately had to get in the way of their plans. Oh man, that's just honestly very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, no matter who you are, that a situation like this is definitely going to be a big hit to morale, because even though the situation was kind of dire for Drexel Dragons as they were defending against PSU Blue, there was still just the potential possibility that they could have came back in this game and just done a humongous backswing to try and stay in this set alive for a little bit longer. But unfortunately, that is not the reality we live in. The reality we live in is that we had a I want to say probably just a Nintendo server moment happened here, as both teams got disconnected for one reason or another, and now PSU Blue is sitting at 3-0 at match point in what is a already hard fought set.
Yeah. Oh man. It's not over until it's over, like I
Hmm.
said. I mean, they still have one more shot. They just gotta like, forget everything that has happened what happened in Scorch Rainmaker and just move on. It's just out of our control, you know.
Yeah.
It's always a Nintendo moment. You cannot do anything about it. You just gotta like the only thing you could do is just, forget everything that happened and just move on.
Yeah, it's definitely up to Drexel Dragons right now to really just try and shake this scenario off, and hopefully that they can properly lock in here for this next game, game number 4. And it's just no matter what it is, it's still such a heavy blow to morale. But I have faith in Drexel Dragons that they have what it takes to give us a good show, a remaining show, and take us to a game 7, because I will always advocate for the game 7, no matter who I'm watching, where I am, what is currently happening. Taking this to a game 7 is really the ultimate true reality that I want to see, and I hope that's what we're going to be seeing here tonight.
I hope so too, Dark. And also like another thing that we got to keep in mind though, that this is week 1. Drexel Dragons can still have more chances in the upcoming weeks.
Yeah, week 1 in the season. It may not be the scenario you want to see. An opening on your opening week going unfortunately 0-4 on the worst case scenario, or in the best case scenario going 4-3. May not be the situation you want to see in terms of scoring and seeding for the potential down the road tournament settings, but it's still. You still have multiple options to try and make it up. You still have multiple opportunities to just really say like, okay, what happened here, what can we learn from it, or like how can we keep doing the good things we are doing and keep this momentum going. We are in a little bit of a more truncated timeline compared to previous seasons, but it's still, you still have plenty of opportunities to come back here. And now heading to game number 4, match point for PSU Blue, we're going to be seeing Clamblitz Hammerhead Bridge.
Oh man. I thought I'd never see Hammerhead Bridge. I mean, the last time I saw it was back in like season 3 of the league. So it's kind of crazy to see it back again in season 6. So I'm curious to see what these players are going to do with this map. especially since like it did get a rework.
I think there's a little bit of a team mix-up here because I know for sure Vapor is a member of
Oh.
PSU Blue, so it's like a hiccup here on someone's side. Not the end of the world, and all honestly, we're only human after all. So just a few more moments and we'll be back with the proper team lineup in here for this game number 4.
At least something that the both teams can laugh about, just to forget about what happened in Scorch Range Maker.
Yeah.
But yeah. So as I mentioned before, like Hammerhead is definitely like it's very tough depending on like the comp that you face.
Mhm.
But I think with the rework and everything, maybe it could make a difference for teams to like go in. But I don't know, like, I feel like with those reworks, it's still not enough. What do you think?
Yeah, no. The main problem with Hammerhead that I've seen from the last block that I casted, as well as just like in my overall experience, is the fact that here in Clan Blitz, the right crate on the right side, it's not there. And so it kind of forces the enemy team to either, or for your team as well, whenever you're attacking, it kind of forces you to either go through the middle crate, which is not good because you either got to go back onto the grates or go forward like
Mhm.
and just face whoever's like sitting on behind the clan basket, or you got to go through the left side ramp and kind of have to just fight tooth and nail through there, and those are very small and tight choke points. So it's very hard to actually get things going here. And it's a bit of a tough map to actually push through. But I like it here because it forces people to actually try and think of proper strategies to just get through these tight scenarios. And man, oh man, I'm excited to see this game properly kick off.
Yeah, and I am noticing the sploosh Neo from Jay here. I am sensing a little bit of some speedy rap behavior
Hmm.
from Jay. And oh my god, already a kill from the killer whale. Oh my goodness.
I think that's the first time I've seen the killer whale just get off the rip, get used, and just thrown out to just like be a nuisance, get a kill like that. I've never seen something like that happen beforehand. And luckily for Drexel Dragons, it didn't seem to amount to too much. Never mind, as I say, that
Ooh.
3 goal down for Drexel Dragons, being PSG Blue has the opportunity here just to run up this ramp, take control, take the space they want to potentially get the first opening points here on this game. But 2 go down.
Oh. Okay, I don't know if that was the Rapid Deco Pro that got that got those splats, but in my head, I like to assume it. And as we can see, Drexel Dragons are finally starting to get a push. They got their specials ready, and it looks like they're starting to get a push going.
A good push was starting to get geared up here, but a flank here from the shot does cause some mayhem here for Drexel Dragons as they are forced to just stick their ground and play a little bit more defensively. But there's so much going on from all across the map that it's hard to keep track of what exactly the scenario is. But now it seems like PSG Blue is just gonna rush up, take the opportunity they have, and get those points on the board, gonna score the power clamp into the basket and back out, not wanting to risk their lives for additional lead takeage.
Yeah, and I do want to highlight there for a moment. That was a
Ooh.
beautiful double pick from Vapor here. Oh my goodness. Man, every time whenever I see Vapor out on a roll here with the Explo, you know, like it's always scary, you know, like just when you fight against Vapor and their Explo, it's very scary.
Yeah, Vapor with Explo is it is their trademark weapon. You know, they play the Explosion here for PSU. They also play the Explosion for Triggerfish's own Supremacy, another team that they're on whenever CCA is not keeping them in hostage for their own staffing purposes. But no, you gotta be mindful of that explosion here. 2 minutes 30 seconds remaining. You see exactly why the explosion can be so devastating in the right hands. Just the amount of damage it can put out, the
Oh.
amount of area denial it can give. It's just so oppressive if you don't know how to properly play against it. And 3 down for Drexel Dragons means that PSG Blue is once again going to be on the offensive here to get potentially additional points.
Yeah, and I was gonna say that you know, with the amount of with the score that they have right now, I thought that Drexel Dragons do have a chance since you know 80 is still a safe is still safe, but as I say that, as I was thinking about that, PSU was able to get another basket in, already getting to 20 points remaining. Wow, what an incredible push from them.
Yeah, they're definitely looking to try and shut out this game here and now. 20 points remaining. That's definitely a bit of a mountain for the Drexel Dragons to try and fight through. 1 minute and 45 seconds remaining. It's gonna be a hard fought victory here. This is match point for PSU Blue, so if they can just stall them out or just close out this game here and now, they will be the winners of this set here for your first week here at the CCA. And with Tactical Online for Drexel Dragons, this is gonna be the opportunity to see exactly what they will have in mind to try and fight back here. And Inkjects will be popped to try and take more space. One does unfortunately go down from the Drexel Dragons, but PSU Blue does get a
Ooh.
pick in return. It's constant back and forth trading here, but there was someone waiting here at the Inkjet recall.
Yeah, the nerves must be really kicking in for Drexel Dragons. They really are just like they're just really really desperate in getting that push going, especially with like almost a minute remaining. They still may have a chance. They do have their specials ready, and as I say that, 3 people go down.
Yeah, it's such an unfortunate sight here for Drexel Dragons. Time is running out. Nerves are going to be at an all-time high as PSU Blue is already under the clan mask here, just throwing in whatever clans they have. And I believe without any too much contention, they have the clans to end this game here and now with a clean 4-0 record. PSU Blue is going to take this first set of the week against the Drexel Dragons.
Oh man. Yeah. Wow. That was insane to just to handle, you know. There was just like a lot of stuff has we can all agree that a lot happened during this Division 1 set. I mean, I think what really led to the end was probably the disconnect.
Mm-hmm.
That's again like that is very just so unfortunate for the Drexel Dragons. Man, they had something going on during Scorch Rainmaker, but due to that DC, it just like I don't know, to be quite honest. Like it's just so hard for me to how to feel in this
Mm-hmm.
moment, and I'm sure you are having a hard time thinking how to feel too during this entire match set, Dark.
Yeah, no, I definitely will say that in that scenario, my gameplay would be off with probably the remainder of this set if I were in Drexel Dragon's position. But man, that doesn't mean that they still don't give it their all here. The games that they actually were able to play, minus the one disconnect, I could see the potential they were having here, and I see why they're Division 1. And it just kind of sucks that unfortunately the first match of the season here for the CCA is going up against PSU Blue, a very known and very well known just tie-in here in the end of divisions. But don't let this loss get to you. There's still more
Yeah.
weeks to get through. There's still more chances to try and fight through the ranks and be once this goes into the tournament setting, just to be going up against PSU Blue again, be like, hey, you beat us 0-4 the first week. Now we're here to try and go 0-4 and OU here on the bracket phase.
Yeah. Um, you know, at the end of the day, though, I think there's this saying where like it is not the end of the world. You still have like another shot, and also like the first week is all there's always bound to be
Mm-hmm.
something that tends to go wrong. So yeah, at the end of the day, though, just move on from all this stuff. It's not gonna affect you whatsoever. So yeah, and also we are gonna do the CCA tradition of doing all 7 games, and it seems like both teams are just gonna be running their go-to comps.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in all honesty, if I was Drexel Dragons, I would absolutely be using this time to play out the remainder of this games to get more information off of PSU Blue and how they play. That way, we're better prepared to go off against them in the later settings. If we do end up going up against them in the later settings, and so using this, I know some teams tend to use this as like, okay, just we run whatever we like, and that's completely okay. There's also some teams who we want to use this as proper practice, and that's completely okay too. The sportsmanship
Sure.
of this all just kind of varies from team to team. And man, oh man, PSU Blue is just doing what they've done throughout the majority of the set and just being so offensively aggressive here and just keeping Drexel Dragons not giving them any premium whatsoever. It's almost oppressive.
Yeah, and but as we say that, it looks like Drexel may be starting a push, but commentators curse. Gosh darn it, man. As I say that, like two players of Drexel Dragons do go down, and they still may have a chance. They just got to get their specials quick and ready, and it seems like they already are kind of are starting somewhere.
A good important pick off of that explosion means that there's not too much area denial from PSU Blue, but unfortunately, Drexel Dragons just don't
Ooh.
quite have that pushing power in them, and they do lose out this game once again against the PSU Blue. They might PSU Blue, even though none of these next few games are going to be going on any official record whatsoever. It's not going to affect any seeding. It's not going to affect any later potential tiebreakers from either teams. This is solely just for the fun of it. I do think that PSU Blue might be able to run away with a clean 7-0, but I will be giving Drexel Dragons all of my energy to try and potentially just take one game off of PSU Blue.
Same here, Dark. Same here. And also one thing that people need to remember about Ship Shape Cargo is that it is a very lockout heavy map.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's always bound to be like a situation where like you will get stuck in a lockout, and yeah, don't let that get in. Don't let that get into you. That's all. That's what I'm trying to say. Like there is still like plenty. There are still like the best way that you could mainly do it. I was gonna say like there may be some potential ways, but I think like the only way to do it is just paint up for specials, just throw bombs, and and that can potentially start a push.
Yeah, like you said, the unfortunate design aspect of ship shape. Oh, excuse me, ship shape cargo company is the fact that like it's such a high lockout heavy game that it's so hard to push past from. And honestly, Drexel Dragons' loss here may not have been from just the sheer presence of PSU Blue, but just more of the failings of this horrid map design. But it's all in the past here as we now headed to game number 6, Tower Control on Inkblot Art Academy.
Yes, tower control on Inkblot is definitely a classic here in competitive Splatoon. And wait a minute, Dark, do you see what I see? Do I see what I see? A bit of a weapon change, a weapon comp change.
Yeah, both ends, Matt, do bring in some new weapons. Drexel Dragons do have the what's it called? I always forget the S Blast 91, 92, I believe, on their side. But we do see the Vanilla Blaster and the 52 Gal and the Tri Slosher come in from PSU Blues. Almost a completely new weapon comp from PSU Blue. And weapon comp or not, it seems that they are still being very successful here against Drexel Dragons.
Wow, and wow, that is absolutely kind of. I'm still kind of wrapping my head around here, Dark. Like, just these weapon changes, I was not expecting it. But as I say that, it looks like PSU Blue are just maintaining control over on Drexel Dragon's bats, and it looks like they're already this close to getting a knockout here.
The thing is with this map is that it kind of tends to snowball out of control really fast once you hit that second checkpoint, going to third checkpoint. That area, if you don't have the proper tools to just push back and fight back from, things really spiral out of control there. And we just saw there as PSU Blue just managed to coast that from that final area to the second checkpoint, heading to third into the final, just resting place of the tower. Just not a lot of contention there. Right before they can even get the explosion from PSU Blue, they did have special in their pockets to stay alive a little bit longer, and not long enough for someone on the flanking side to get a pick on the aggressor here.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like our final map mode for this set is going to be Montemaria Rainmaker, if I'm
Yes.
right. Yes. Um, you know, I don't have a lot to say about Monta Rainmaker or Monta in general. I feel like it is, in my opinion, I find it to be one of the most like fun, stages throughout Splatoon history, in my opinion. But what do you think about it?
I think how you feel about Manta Maria is genuinely going to be based off of what kind of weapons you play, because it's a skinny map with a lot of just walls all over the place, and
Mhm.
it's kind of hard to push through alley if you don't have the proper tools. So if you're something like a brush, a blaster, a roller, or even a slosher, you're gonna really like this map because of how many ledges and nooks and crannies there are, much like Comeback Pump Jack. But if you're something
Mhm.
akin to more like a longer range weapon, like a charger or or even some shooter weapons, you're not gonna like it because it's gonna feel so claustrophobic. You're not gonna have that breathing room to do what you like to do best. But I will say here, PSU Blue definitely has such a major advantage here with the Explosion, just being able to lob your shots safely behind cover to just be so oppressive, so aggressive. It's gonna be a very hard fought victory here for Drexel Dragons.
I mean, I wouldn't say that it may be that it will be tough for Drexel Dragons because they do have a decaf with an inkjet, and inkjet is one of those specials where like inkjet likes to have fun with in Manta because like
Uh
with
huh.
all those like ledges and everything, I feel like you can do a lot in with the inkjet. So I'm very excited to see if Drexel Dragons will bring out the decaf again.
Yeah, I did want to mention this earlier when the actual games of the set, where Inkjet is definitely going to be Drexel Dragon's best tool here to fight against PSU Blue. But unfortunately, it seems that PSU Blue had the proper tools to go up against the Inkjet. So it kind of is just. I think Inkjet could have been used more properly for Drexel Dragons, but it's in the past. No need to keep looking in the past as we see here both these two teams facing off in mid as we see a pretty much a complete team new makeup here for PSU Blue.
Yeah, I see both Tetris and Reflux. Uh, pretty interesting choices. Especially Vapor with the Reflux here.
I think Reflux is a bit of a more gimmicky weapon, but
Oh,
I can't even finish my thought here. As PSU Blue, so beautifully coordinated together, is able to take that Rainmaker knocked out. What I believe was probably like more like 30 or 40-second game. I think that was the fastest game here tonight.
um, yeah, like we were just talking about like weapon comps and everything, and then all of a sudden, just PSU Blue just getting that knockout. Like, come on, y'all, just give it. Let us talk about some things really quick. Like, chill. But with all that being said, that is set a game set for both teams. Um, yeah, what do you have to say, Dark?
I will say to Drunken Dragons, anyone from Drunken Dragons who are listening to this stream, that do not take this defeat so hard on yourselves. It is the first week of the season. You still have many more
Mm-hmm.
opportunities to try and make yourself or redeem yourself and just improve yourselves and make sure something like this doesn't happen against, especially against PSU Blue. Use that fire, use that disappointment to fuel the fire to try and come back and hit harder once again. Because man, oh man, PSU Blue, they are Titans for a reason, but they are not undefeatable. And I would like nothing more to see just the comeback story later on the season for you guys going up against PSG Blue and just take a clean game off of them.
Yeah, I hope that Drexel Dragons do reach out to PSU Blue though, and because I do see maybe a potential scrim partner agreement going on between the two. I hope so. I'm manifesting on that because I feel like after today, I think Drexel Dragons may have found themselves a tough team to fight to help themselves prepare um for the upcoming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like it seems like we are going to be wrapping things up here.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it
No,
looks like we are. Man, I honestly wish I could keep going.
yeah, most definitely. It is a bit of a shorter block here with the final score being 4-0 against from PSU in favor of PSU Blue against Drexel Dragons. It was still a fun set nonetheless, and even though it was a short set, a short set, I am still always happy to be here and happy to just yap about the game whenever I can. But as we are wrapping up, buddy old pal, where can they find you? Anything you want to plug in?
So y'all can find me over on Blue Sky, where I pretty much talk a lot about comp Splatoon stuff, and even on Twitch. I've been coming back on the Twitch streaming grind again. All at Ciberino, so y'all can find me there. We are going to be starting Looty with my team very soon. And yeah. What about you, Dark? Where can the lovely people find you?
Well, you can find me at SPF underscore dark at most social media sites. I'm probably not going to be too active on there, but I just have them just to have them. You can also find me. I hear my voice on across multiple different just communities here at either CCA, Splatoon Tourney, that productions, Under Pressure. I'm all over the place. I love commentating whenever I can, so always you'll most likely hear my voice one way or another. But with that being said and done, that wraps up this set. But we're not done here yet, folks. There's still another game after this block, which is going to be Division 2 H Helm versus Daybreak. So don't go anywhere just yet. Get your snacks, get your water, go use the restroom real quick. We'll be right back after a break, and we'll be signing off here tonight.